pivot. Don't pivot.
You just
don't
said
pivot.
that we don't like science.
Yeah,
So don't
okay,
make
but
that
I'm not
point.
going to let you pivot, big boy. I'm not going to let you pivot.
I'm pretty sure
Why?
you're like a man. Don't call
What
me
evidence
big
do
boy.
you have against the theory that patriarchy started with agriculture? What evidence do you
started
have
before
against
that.
this?
Even
Why?
in Ooga
Why do you
Booga
believe
days.
that? Why do you believe
Because
that?
Ooga Booga days, men still led. That was before agriculture.
Why do you believe that men led in the Ooga Booga days? Why do you believe
Because
that
of
men still led when we were in hunter-gatherer societies?
Because if the women didn't follow, they would just bang them across the head with like a club or something. We were
I don't
literally
think-
leading. What are you talking?
So would you agree?
denying
Here,
science now?
I'll put you through this, because your claim is that the reason why men led is because men could just beat the shit out of women. That's your
Duh,
argument.
That's what happens with apes too. You believe that we're apes,
With
right?
like bonobos? Does that happen
there's
with
a bunch of
bonobos?
different kinds of apes.
No. Listen to me. No. Make eye contact with me. Look at me. Look at me in my shit brown eyes. Does that happen with bonobos?
This is getting weird.
Answer my question.
I don't know if it happens with bonobos. Maybe not.
It does
happen?
not.
Does it happen with the majority of the other apes and
It does
majority of other? Okay, so
There
the
are plenty of
majority
different
other-
matriarchal apes.
Plenty?
Funny enough. Hmm.
Chimpanzees are matriarchal because that's our closest primate.
Actually, bonobos are closer to human beings, like when we're looking at like their neurobiological makeup. When we're looking at like the majority of the physical makeup for chimpanzees, yes. However, when we're looking at like the neurobiological makeup, like how big our prefrontal cortex is, how big our ventral occipitotemporal cortex is, like how much white matter we have, we're a little bit closer to bonobos.
Well, obviously
than
we're
you
not
think.
the same because we're patriarchal. They weren't.
Why do you believe that we are inherently patriarchal?
Because we always were, instinctively.
Okay.
Always.
So
Every
your
society.
argument is, I hate to say logical fallacy, but it is a logical fallacy because you're saying it is this way because it's always been this way.
No, it
Would
is
you
this
be
way
able to give
because
me
we are
evidence?
yes. The fact that we are biologically different and our brains develop differently than women's brains, so we're biologically predisposed to be leaders.
Okay, so our neurobiology is different. In what ways are our neurobiology different, and how do those differences affect leadership?
Well, for example, we're less agreeable than women because of the way that testosterone has affected the male brain different than estrogen affects the female brain. Which is why when men take estrogen or testosterone, right, their behavior starts changing too.
I agree that women tend to be slightly more communal. However, I don't think that makes us not as good at leadership.
It's so cap. When crap hits the fan, immediately look over to men to save you.
When it comes to like inspiring and motivating others, when it comes to developing others, when it comes to like building relationships, when it comes to, driving for results and resilience, I think that the ability to congregate and the ability to not necessarily rely on your community, but support your community's development and success is significantly more important than being less agreeable with people, especially when you're a leader.
Wait,
of those people.
are you saying that women make better communities or something?
I'm saying women are more communal on average, which is
They're more
going to be the opposite, right?
Opposite of what? Being
Of less
agreeable?
agreeable. Yeah. So
Women
I
are
guess
more
more
agreeable.
agreeable.
That's literally what I said. I said men
Yes,
are
I
less.
realize that. However, I am arguing that this is not necessarily a net positive or a net negative. I think that sometimes
For a
being
leader,
less
it is.
agreeable might be an okay thing for leadership. However, I think the majority of the time it's going to be a little bit better to be communal, right?
Yeah, as like a mother.
Wait,
but
why
not
is
as a
everyone
leader
saying
of a-
bro is a podcast? What the fuck? Bro is a
know what that
podcast?
I don't know what that means,
Do
honestly.
you have a podcast? Is that why people are saying that?
I
am I
do,
dumb?
but I haven't posted on it in like 4 months, so I don't
Oh,
think
you're a
that's-
podcast bro.
I'm a podcast bro, and you're a feminist bro.
You're a podcast bro. So I don't think men being less agreeable necessarily
Wait, this
means
is
that
you're
they
doing
are-
a podcast right now.
Actually, no, I don't post this anywhere. I don't even clip it.
So what
This
is the point of a
here
podcast?
right now?
Conversation, right?
What's the point of the conversation? Certainly not like it's not for like money or clout or fame. I literally just do this like this is my hobby.
Same with me with the podcast and my stuff.
Then why do you post it? Like, dude, I don't even want to hear it. This is so dumb. I want to get back to the actual conversation if that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, stop pivoting.
So men, you said, are less agreeable than women, and that's why you believe. No, what? How about we just go through the list of like the neurobiological differences between men and women that you think are there.
Nowhere
We'll
there.
go through each one.
We've already gone through one. Women are inclined to be more nurturing than men.
And you think this is a negative trait?
No, I'm not saying it's
okay.
negative or positive. I'm saying
Like
that
negative in terms. Okay, so I'm going to ask the question again. In what ways are we neurobiologically different that is relevant to how women are not as good at leadership?
men are better at strategy.
Strategy. Interesting. Okay, why do you believe that men are better at strategy?
Men are the best chess players in the world, by far.
When it comes to developing strategic perspective, I can actually slightly agree with you on that one, but at the same time, like when it comes to chess specifically, those are like more male-dominated spaces that don't necessarily look very kindly on women. Like I'm sorry to like give this kind of argument, but it is the truth that like in specifically chess, women are pretty consistently looked down upon, and women are pretty consistently harassed. Like I know, like me personally, I was like the only woman in my chess club, like in high school, and I was pretty consistently harassed, and I was pretty consistently like it was not good. Women are not really welcome in
that easy to mess with your guys' heads.
One more time.
It's because male chess players try to intimidate each other all the time, right? So they're trying to intimidate the female chess player, and she just crumbles under the pressure.
It's not exactly it's not exactly the same though. Like I think we can understand like there's a difference between like discrimination versus like
you're
just
allowed
trying to
in
like
the
hype another person up.
No, you're allowed in the event. You're allowed to participate.
Yeah, I realize that you're allowed in the event and you're allowed to participate, but I think that there is still like some,
under the pressure.
like really quick, I think that there is still some like desirable bias that comes like with being a man and being a woman.
Good, then prove them wrong. If you're better than the men, just prove them wrong. It's the best way to I was still in chess, like no matter what. I'm just saying that it's going to be a little bit easier for a man to like get inside that field because he's just going to feel a little bit more welcome in that field. Like I think that like wait, really quick. I can actually give like a really good example. Like it's not even about like someone like saying to another person like, oh, I think you're not going to be as good at this because you're a certain gender. It would be like the same kind of pressure that like a man might feel if he like goes into nursing. Like you're just going to feel a little bit more welcome into a community that you can automatically, how do you say, connect with, Like this is a group that you're kind of already going to be connecting with. That's kind of like one of the things that I was trying to say. Hold on. But this claim that it's going to be easier for men, it's just technically it's incorrect because to achieve the grandmaster status for women, they decrease the rating by 500 points and make it easier for women to achieve higher status than men.
I'm going to have to fact check that one. Hold on.
Yeah, you could just look, what do women have to achieve, what ELO rating to get a grandmaster status versus men? They literally have a female grandmaster rating, FGM. You guys got life on easy mode, bro.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Is Lord
Dude,
and Savior.
I had no idea. Yeah, that's so fucking dumb. Okay, well, that's some bullshit. I do think it should still be like 2,500. For everyone. All right, yeah, what the fuck? That's some bullshit. Okay. That is actually some bullshit. I'll concede to that one. That one is some bullshit. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, dude, if that... Oh my god. Why the fuck did they do that? Is it just because they didn't have, like, enough women in there? So they decided, you know what, we're going to make it easier for women to, like, do this because we don't have enough women here?
Well, that's what they do for a lot of stuff. That's DEI, yes. But that's DEI. Do you disagree with DEI?
I believe in more merit-based systems. So, like, if we were to have, like, merit-based systems, like, when it comes to, like, the government, then we would have more of an egalitarian government at this point.
But you,
like,
you just saw a DEI initiative. You just saw a DEI initiative and instinctively reacted
and disagreed with this one specifically?
Yeah, because DEI is.
I disagree with this one specifically. Really quick, I disagree with this one specifically because it is. It doesn't really make much sense. Like, I disagree with this one specifically because I believe that women are very much capable to getting to like 2,500. I don't think that there's like much holding us back from that. I think the only thing is they're just lowering this. Like, oh man, I just think that it's honestly kind of blatantly sexist, and I really don't appreciate it. Like, if I got to like the Grand Master status, and then I was like fucking 300 or 200 points behind another man who also had a Grandmaster status, like, dude, I'd feel like a little piece of salami. I'd feel like a little piece of shit. Like, that fucking sucks ass.
But I think the reality is they know that women can't achieve that rating. I don't think
women have achieved that rating, haven't they?
Oh, maybe there's been one or something, but there's been many other more men that have. I think there's a few exceptions to the rule, but
there's a list actually. There's a very long list of 2,500 or more. There is a pretty long list. Of like females? Over 2,000, of not of the female one, of over 2,500. Yes, there are of females. Yes, 42.
To get a Grandmaster for men, you have to be about 2,700 elo, something like that.
No, it's 2,500 for men.
For Grandmaster? Mm-hmm. I'll have to double check that. I'll take you at your word.
Dude, I literally just like Googled it. It's still 25 for men.
Let's say that's it. I'm not saying you're wrong, right? That's the very bottom tier of Grandmasters. The top, let's say, 20 chess players in the world are well past 2,700 elo.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. So I think that part of the reason for this one, and I think that like this is something that I was actually talking about yesterday. You know about the... I'm going to hold it up for you really quick. You know about what this is, right? You know about the bell curve? We're going to talk about the bell curve for a second, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know about the bell curve.
Yeah, the opposite.
IQ bell curve specifically.
Yeah.
We do realize that when we're looking at like that very, very top 1% of people who go over like the 140 IQ range.
That's us.
The majority of them are going to be men. Not necessarily that women are incapable of getting to that point, but the majority of these people are going to be men.
Why is it the majority though? Why is it not more egalitarian and 50-50 if we're actually the same?
It's not as, I don't think it's as statistically significant as we would assume it to be. If you're asking me like why the bell curve is the way it is, I think that's going to be a question for like a very well-trained neurobiologist and not necessarily myself. I'm only describing what is. I'm only really going to be able to give you like the positive description of what is at this point.
I could use my male brain to explain it to you.
Okay, would you be able to go into like specific neurobiological reasons? Because so far you didn't even give me like neurobiological reasons between like men and women. You said less agreeable, which isn't actually like neurobiology.
True. Of course that's neurobiology.
What within their
That's decision making.
Is it okay, where does decision making like take place? What is denser? What are the like functional differences? It's not just like, oh, less agreeable. Like I could say like here's the thing. Like, I could claim that women are going to be emotionally intelligent 100% of the time. But the thing is, that's not necessarily a difference between, like, male and female neurobiology. A more, I guess, just a better way of me, like, saying that would be that women tend to have denser prefrontal cortexes. So, functionally, women are going to, on average, be better at emotional regulation. That's a little bit better of an explanation.
Yeah, right? Because of motherhood. That's what you're predisposed to do.
Actually, no.
Yes. To raise children, stay home, and be a mother.
Actually, forms of higher thinking that come with like white matter tend to decrease during pregnancy. So no, that's just being a woman.
Also, breast cancer chances, risks plummet once you give birth. That's true.
Dude, why are you pivoting right now?
Well, you're talking about... Okay, well, you're saying a stat, I'm giving you another stat.
Yeah, but you didn't even respond to the one I gave you.
My point is that it is
you said, oh, it's just because of motherhood. Like, no, it's not just because of motherhood. Women usually have, like, more white matter, right, before pregnancy, before they ever get pregnant, than during pregnancy. So I wouldn't say that motherhood necessarily, like, helps you with emotional regulation.
No, I'm saying that you're more predisposed for whatever. We're getting off into the weeds. Women are made to be mothers. That's the point.
Okay. Are men made to be fathers? Do you believe that that's like male destinies is to be a father?
Yeah, we're a monogamous species. Not all species are monogamous. I believe humans are. We mate
Okay,
for life.
I'm not super interested in like getting into the are we monogamous or are we polyamorous? I
But
don't
that
much care
would
about that one.
well then
Do you
don't
believe
why'd
that
you
like so okay, so you believe that both men and women are like our destinies are to be parents and that's where like all of our that's where all of our brain functionality comes from is just for the purpose of bearing offspring.
Destiny sounds like a crystal girl that likes horoscopes. I don't like that word. I wouldn't use the word destiny.
Fate.
I would say our design, it's in our nature. It's our instinct.
Okay, so you're claiming that everything that we can find, all of the biological and neurobiological differences between men and women are related to either maternal or paternal instincts.
No, human instinct.
Okay, so it's not necessarily related to being a mother that a woman has a larger prefrontal cortex.
No, part of the reason that she has a prefrontal cortex is because it's better for that as a mother. We don't want
Why she has one?
we don't want disagreeable
What?
mothers. Okay, we're just getting off into the weeds.
Sorry, I like the.
Maybe I'll debate the husband so he will understand or something.
So really quick, if you're talking about specifically mothers, dude. So you're saying that the reason why women have denser prefrontal cortexes is so that we can be mothers?
I'm saying it definitely helps to be more emotionally regulated as a mother. Of course, to deal with children, to raise a family, to be empathetic. Women are supposed to be mothers, not girl bosses. Girl bosses.
So what is
are
okay? So
unhappier. That's my point.
sorry.
Girl bosses are unhappier. They're more on antidepressants.
Actually,
They're more-
that's actually not entirely true. If we're looking at like women who are childless and married in their 50s, they tend to be happier and on less antidepressants than women who have children. I actually have the source for that. Do you want a source for that? I have a source for that.
I'm sure there's a source for that. I'm sure there's a blue-haired woman that wrote that up at some point and got it peer reviewed.
Okay, so no matter what source I give you, what if I give you like literally a source from like NIH or Harvard? What if I give you a source with like good methodology?
I would say my
Would you
feelings are
believe
the
it?
facts. My feelings are the facts of the situation.
Why are your
I-
feelings fact? You're acting
Of
like
this?
a woman.
Yeah. Based. That's a base joke.
Come on. Why are your feelings facts in this? Why won't you actually accept any sort of statistic? I'm confused.
Because these institutions are overrun by liberal zombies.
Okay, so no matter what source I give you, you're not going to trust it?
No, I didn't say that. I'll look at the study.
What source
I'd have
do
to
you
look
think
at
I
the
would,
methodology.
okay, so what source would I be able to give you, right, in which you would agree based off of scientific consensus?
I mean, NIH puts out a lot of good stuff. I have to look at the
Okay, so
methodology.
you would agree with NIH?
Well, I'd have to read through the study. I don't just accept the study blind.
Okay.
Because I could show you a study. Well, I can't bring up any other issue because you're going to say that's not about this. But there's studies that disprove a lot of liberal, virtue signaling. But you guys are like, yeah, no, that study. There's a Swedish study. You know which one I'm referring to for the tea community. But you don't want to talk about that, right?
Yeah,
You're
we're not going to talk about the tea community.
Of course.
Really quick, yeah, we're not going to talk about just because I don't want to be like pivoting from the literal topic that we've been trying to.
The point is that you wouldn't accept all studies either. That's the principle of my argument.
You mean the Swedish study about
There's no
people?
long-term beneficial effects of getting the surgery.
You're pivoting so heavy right now. Like
My
really
point
quick,
is that you
I
wouldn't
think
accept
that
all studies either. That was my point.
right, but when it comes from like a lot of different reputable institutions, like I'm at least going to give it like the benefit of the doubt instead of like being MAGA brained and being like, oh, institutions are so leftist now. I don't believe it because it doesn't agree with me.
That was a tongue-in-cheek comment. I did earnestly say I would read through the study. I'd need to see it. I'm not going to blindly accept.
How about would you trust Reuters?
It's sure the institution's trustworthy for some things. I'd have to read through the study. Again,
Okay.
It doesn't matter who the institution is.
Okay. Do you want the title?
I gotta get going.
Come on. Do you want the title?
I have to go see my girlfriend.
Come on, dude.
Sure,
Are
I'll
you
have the
serious
title
right
and I'll
now?
read it. Oh yeah, tell me the title.
All right.
And
Title
I'll look
is,
through it.
it's from Reuters. It's Children Aren't Key to Women's Happiness Study.
Children
Colon
are
study.
not key to women's happiness.
Yes. That is the
Yet
title.
women are unhappier when feminism and the patriarchy was disassembled.
But that's literally not true. And we can stay
is.
and you can stay and we can debate
Women
about it, or you
happiness
can run.
paradox. Women's happiness paradox.
Or you can run.
Since
It's one
well,
or
I
the
do
other.
have to go see the girlfriend. That's true. I don't want to leave her hanging. You guys would think she's a misogynist too. I think it's hilarious.
What, you mean like Andrew Wilson's wife? Would you say that your girlfriend is a 6?
No, I wouldn't. No, I'm not a fan of Andrew Wilson.
Oh, good. All
Debated
right.
him.
The one saving grace about this dude. One more time. The study is from Reuters. It's called Children Aren't Key to Women's Happiness.
Yep. Children are not key. That's just such a crazy title because they are. But I'll look.
But you have literally no evidence to prove that. Oh,
Okay. Well, women's happiness paradox Yale study and other studies that have shown women have gotten unhappier as the patriarchy has ended.
I think I would also be less happy if I wasn't allowed to take Quaaludes as much.
You're free now, according to you guys.
He didn't even respond to what I said. Dude, did you even hear what I just said?
To. I don't get that. I don't.
You don't know what
understand.
Quaaludes are?
I know what Quaaludes are. I don't understand the correlation. Is this like a Wolf of Wall
You don't
Street?
understand the correlation? That a ridiculous amount of housewives back in the 50s were taking a stupid amount of RUGS?
I don't think that's why they were happier.
Are you sure? Because a lot
Yeah.
of them were getting like lobotomized. A lot of them were not
Yeah,
really
not a lot
allowed
of
to
them.
speak out. A pretty
Not a lot of
significant amount of them were brainwashed like by the society that they were in, that they had to be happy. And the reason they had to be happy was because they were not allowed like to be away from their husbands. And they were
Okay.
literally almost incapable of living without
Okay.
their husbands.
Okay. But the last 30 years, that has not been the case. And we see an explosion of very unhappy, very overweight, very on antidepressants women. So why?
I think that it's a combination of a couple different things. I think that our research on mental health has gone like a long way. So like back in the 90s, it would have been a little bit like a lot more rare for a depressed woman to seek out antidepressants or for a depressed woman to go out and like seek a therapist if she was depressed, versus now when we have like a significant amount of research and a significant amount of resources for people who are depressed. So obviously you're going to have a lot more people coming out and saying that they're depressed. Now, when we have those resources available and the research available versus like back in the 90s or early 2000s.
But why are there so many women that are depressed if they're no longer held down and put down?
Yeah, what
by
I'm trying to
hatred?
say is that it's the same amount of women. That's
That
what
doesn't
I'm trying
make
to say.
sense though, because you
I'm
could
trying to say
argue
that it's the same amount of women.
I get that. I hear your argument, but you could say that back then they were depressed because they were oppressed, right? But today you
That's
can't use that same. You think the women are oppressed? Is that your?
Back then.
No, today.
Back then,
Today,
100%.
though. There's a symmetry break.
I wouldn't really call it oppression. I would say that like there is definitely still like a socially desirable bias that's there that needs to be like broken down 100%. But I wouldn't call it like a blatant oppression, you know? Like I think that today I would say that there are a significant amount of men and women. Like I'm pretty sure the numbers went up for both. And I think it's like not only because of, like I don't think it's because of like feminism. I don't think it's because we're allowed to like wear pants and like own a business now. I think it's because like we have significantly more economic struggles than like a lot of the generations before us. I think that like my grandparents were able to like buy their house for like 2 acorns and like a spit on the nuts. Like I don't think that I'm really able to do that anymore. And I think part of that is, you know, definitely contributing to mental health issues.
Women are unhappier, a lot of the reason, because they're now in the workforce and have to do domestic labor at home based, but they shouldn't be in the workforce. They should never have been in the work. They should be doing domestic labor.
What if you guys, what if you guys help us by like maybe picking up at home more often? How about you guys like don't leave us with like the 2-shift mother? How about we get rid of like the 2-shift mother? How about I only have 1 shift and it's at my work and then somebody else picks up when I'm at home? That's kind of like how, Like why? No. Like why not? Like I'm asking you, like why is that a bad thing? Like I'm okay with somebody going like by the traditional model of a family, but why
Yeah.
exactly do we need to be going with your specific like traditional model of a family? Why is that necessary?
It works better.
Why do you believe that it works better than like a relationship like mine, where both of us work and both of us clean and both of us cook?
Because you wouldn't be raging on TikTok if it did.
Would you be able to prove that I'm unhappy? That's literally
be-
that's your burden of proof at this point, is to prove.
You're almost in the kitchen. Almost. So close to where you should be. It's crazy.
So
Look. Oh.
there we go.
There we go.
Okay, so yeah, you would again just have to prove that like I'm unhappy. So my marriage specifically works a little bit differently than a whole lot of other people. Both of us work, both of us contribute to domestic labor, and funny enough, we have been a lot more successful than a significant amount of the couples that we have seen around us. We are hitting 4 years of marriage this year.
Well, congratulations.
So at this point,
no hate.
you would just have to prove that like you would have to prove at this point that if I ask my husband for a sandwich, he should not make me a sandwich. Like that's kind of where you're going at this point. It's a losing battle. You can't prove shit.
I don't think it's 100% black and white, but I do think that he should be doing the majority of the work. You should be at home
Why?
raising a family, having kids. I think that's a beacon of a success for me, is if the family has children, not a
For
child.
you specifically, why does that need to apply to me?
It doesn't need to, but you're saying that it's successful, but I have a different standard of success.
My relationship?
Any
Would
relationship.
you agree that would you agree that if a person subjectively says that their relationship is successful, then it is successful?
Well, according to their standard of success, sure, maybe.
Okay, so what's negative, I guess, about my relationship? Because if we're not going to base it off success, like what exactly do you believe is in like negative or incorrect about like my marriage or my relationship?
But for one, God should be the center stone of
Didn't
the
you say you
relationship.
had a girlfriend?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to her
Why
house.
aren't you guys married yet? How long have you been dating her? Why aren't you guys married yet? You said you're 29. Why don't you have kids yet?
I'm 29.
Where's your wife?
I'm not on a biological clock.
How old
Okay.
is your girlfriend?
I'm not on a biological clock. No details about
Ooh,
her.
how old is your girlfriend? How old is your girlfriend?
Why would I? She's not here to talk about herself.
I just want to know how old she is. When
Well,
did she
she's over
graduate
18
high
for
school?
anyone. And you're gonna make some weird comments.
When did she graduate high school? If bro says 2000.
That would make her like 17 or something. That'd be weird. She's in her 20s.
Early 20s?
No.
Late 20s?
Nope. It's like in the middle.
So she's 25.
Yeah, you're hot.
So she's 26.
Yeah, it's about
So
there. It's
she's
around,
3
it's around
years younger than you?
that. Like 2.5.
Like 2.5. Okay, so she's 27.
No, younger. But wait, yeah, well, what is this trivia?
Yeah, dude. Because you fucking came out here and you said, "Oh, because I'm not on a biological clock." Meanwhile, like she's in her like mid to late 20s. Like I'm sorry, like I'm pretty sure like one of the like alpha bro red pill studies said like, "Oh, you need a woman under 25 or else you guys shouldn't be having kids." Like if you're going to be going by that logic, then like why aren't you married yet? Why aren't you popping one out like right now? Is that what you're trying to go do? Like I'll fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh my god. If my mic clips out one more time, I'm gonna throw it across the fucking room. Not all women are emotional, just me. All right, man, I'll let you go. Did you have anything else you wanted to say before we move on?
I think you've proved a lot of my points.
I think that really quick, I'm going to go over all of your points that you made actually so far. Because I know that you wanted to leave, but so we'll just keep going through them. I asked you for neurobiological evidence as to why you believed that men were going to be better leaders than women. You said that men are less agreeable. I said this isn't necessarily an indicator of bad leadership because being communal can also be a very good indicator of leadership, and women tend to be perceived as more communal, right? You didn't exactly say anything about it. You kind of just, messied on. You were just like, "Nuh-uh." I'm pretty sure that's the only argument that you gave to that one because that's what I wrote. Is you kind of just said, "No, but we're less agreeable, and that's a good leadership trait." And like when I tried to present you my reasoning, you just couldn't cope with it. Like I don't know what to tell you. I will go over the Yale study that you brought up, though. That's something that I do want to go over. Also, really quick. So we are going to calm it down a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. Every once in a while, we can get out into the fun stuff, and we can be crazy, and we can, go into the more crazy arguments, and we can get loud, and those are always fun. But I do usually try to have a little bit more civil discussions than that one. But yeah, these guys can be really funny, but sometimes we do have genuinely very productive discussions. Also, PayPal and Venmo are in the link tree in my bio. If you feel like donating, I do read them out live. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's there if you feel like it. Okay. Thank you. All right. Howdy, I just need your age for TOS. Or actually, you know what? I'm going to pause you really, really quick for everyone coming in right now. Hello, it's nice to see you again. Hello. Thank you. So lovely. Thank you. Hello, Dean. Hello, all of the Dean people. It is so nice to see you today. Today, we are going to be arguing the tried and true. Today, we are going to be arguing men are not inherently better leaders than women, and vice versa. So what I'm basically saying with this is that both men and women are very much capable of supporting their followers' development and success in an efficient way. I'm going to let you talk in just a second here, but if you do disagree with this, make sure you're over the age of 18 and make sure that you are disagreeing with the topic above my head. Go ahead, big guy. Why exactly do you believe that men are inherently better leaders than women?
Just way less emotional, way more logical.
Okay, so you believe that, or actually, sorry, I'm going to need an age check first, really quick.
23.
23. Okay, so you believe that women are more emotional and less logical. Why exactly do you believe that?